darts against Michael van Gerwen in a last leg decider in their board final. Van Gerwen, despite starting the day with a dominant performance against Jori Meiwisse,
100.
has struggled a bit in the last two rounds. A 91 average as he beat Willie Borland 6-4, and a 95 average in that narrow win over Ryan Joyce. By contrast, Dirk van Duijvenbode blasted through his first two games, 6-0 against Nick Kenny, 6-0 against Jermaine Watermainer, and then that battle with the ferret.
180.
MVG puts in the first maximum though. Now, from what I'm led to believe, Van Gerwen is using a set of darts in the Premier League where he has averaged 105 pretty much both weeks, and then he's trying different combinations of stuff with his new manufacturer in these Pro Tour events.
140.
He sees this as a sort of trial and error period. So I don't think these are the same bits of kit that he's using on Thursday nights in the Premier League, where obviously everything's going really well at the minute. Bullseye.
Game shot.
Well, that looks to be going pretty well, doesn't it? 12 darter from MVG to break the throw in the very first leg, and Dirk van Duijvenbode being put firmly in his place. Was the Ryan Joyce game the chance to beat MVG today?
100.
Will there be another chance? The winner of this will face either Mensur Suljovic or Chris Dobie. Those two duking it out over on one of the other boards as we speak. Mensur's been playing some good stuff today. But Dirk van Duijvenbode has been playing some very encouraging stuff at the start of 2020, having come through Q School once again. And really good to see. Broke his quarter-final curse by reaching a semi for the first time in his career.
100.
Did that on the Sunday last weekend, having made his board final, the last 32 on the Saturday. So that's £4 in ranking money he's picked up in the first weekend. You do that all year, you're quids in.
57.
And pick up £90,000 in Pro Tour money. Happy days. Great dart. Double 16. Oh, lovely. 12 dart response from Dirk van Duijvenbode. It's his turn to stomp down the middle of the oche to let MVG know he's just been broken. Third time he's played MVG. He's not beaten him before.
81.
But arguably, I think there have been little spells for Dirk, sort of a month here, a month there over the last few years, where he's looked really good, and you think, oh, is this the dawning of Dirk van Duijvenbode really stepping up to be a top player? But I think we're in the middle of one of those spells right now, and I'm hoping that it's not just a little spell. I'm hoping that we get to see Dirk playing like this on a more consistent basis.
96.
Yeah, all right, he was fortunate against Johnny Clayton in the last round, but 105 average in round 1, 96 average in round 2. Lots of high 90s stuff and mid 90s stuff from him so far, but Michael van Gerwen is doing what Michael van Gerwen does, because that is 177 followed by 180 to leave himself 144. The main question is, what route does he go? Well, we're not going to see another 9 darter just yet.
56.
The only thing that will stop the question marks over MVG and his form and his ability to use 56. This new equipment is MVG doing MVG things with it. Winning titles, big averages, 9 darters, 12 darters, because that's all we're dealing with here. It's 3 12 darters we've seen at the start of this match. 3 breaks of throw. 102 average Van Duijvenbode, 113 for the world #1, the best player on the planet.
45.
Michael van Gerwen, just from playing darts, no sponsorships, no anything like that, has won £8 million. The last 4 years,
140.
He has broken the £1 million mark comfortably. Every single year.
59.
2016-17 remains his most profitable year in that regard. More than £1.5 million. Winning everything.
44.
45, 140, 44. That's how Van Gerwen has started
134.
this leg. That's the frustrating thing for him. He knows he can do it. He knows these darts will be effective eventually. He just
102.
it's the loose visits that he is frustrated by. A 170 checkout. A calling card for MVG.
96.
And he will definitely go for it. Definitely.
145.
But he won't get it. Neither with the camera though, so you can't blame MVG. That's an awkward one. Great dart.
105.
Can't find the bullseye either. Van Duijvenbode. The mini fish not going after MVG fails to reel in the big fish.
Game shot.
The comparative minnow of 25 is gobbled up by Mighty Mike, and he manages to hold his throw. That's the first time we've seen somebody hold their throw in this one. Both men averaging around the 100 mark. Van Gerwen more like 103. And once again, the quality on this streaming board today
59.
has been absolutely top-notch. It's not been all the big boys getting their own way either. Gary Anderson shocked by Wesley Harms.
$140.
Nathan Aspinall might be being shocked by Joe Mernon. 5-4 down the Asp. Mensur Suljevic 5-3 down to Chris Dobie. As things stand, it is looking like Michael Van Gerwen versus Chris Dobie in the quarterfinals, but the raging Dutchman, Dirk van Duijvenbode.
92.
Trying to bully his way back into this.
134.
Bullseye. Oh,
180.
okay. Slightly Michael Smith route, that one. Leaves himself double 15.
Game shot.
Does not matter. Van Duijvenbode polishes off the 51 on double 8. A 15 darter holds his throw for the first time.
134.
Joe Mernon has beaten Nathan Aspinall. It's another big name to go from the bottom half of the draw. We will have a new winner on the Pro Tour this year. Gary Anderson knocked out. He was the winner of the first one. Nathan Aspinall, the winner of the second, is knocked out.
96.
Somebody is going to win who has not yet won this year.
$100.
And Van Duijvenbode, fair play to him, he is keeping pace with MVG here.
95.
Well, Van Gerwen could have looked at the bullseye there, because a 25 would have left him on a checkout of 170. Now, he doesn't get his maths wrong,
57.
MVG, so he probably really liked the lie, thought it was worth the gamble. In the end, it doesn't matter, Van Duijvenbode is not left to finish.
136.
And he does have the benefit of having a crack at 176, always a nice one to set up from there. Couple of trebles in any order from 176 means you're going to leave yourself an attractive looking double.
29.
It's an attractive marker, surely from there. Oh,
No
I don't know,
score.
he's not hit it, and Michael Van Gerwen's face seems to suggest he agrees with me.
64.
Van Duijvenbode leaves that 130, which he threatened earlier, missed the ball. That's another great marker.
Game
And
shot.
this time, Michael Van Gerwen makes full use. The two-leg gap is restored. Just keeping Van Duijvenbode, his countryman, at arm's
98.
length. This the opening
100.
game from the last 16 being played. We've got a few warming up. Michael Smith taking on Ryan Searle, Peter Wright versus Adrian Lewis, and Jeffrey de Zwaan versus Vincent van der Voort, another all-Dutch affair.
$180. $85.
Well, Van Gerwen has stolen the darts here.
$96.
If this goes 5-2, I'm not sure there's a way back for Van Duijvenbode in this game. But
94.
a last 16, a board final, a last 32, a semi-final, and a last 16. I don't think
77.
you'll have seen Dirk Van Duijvenbode put 3 runs like that together in a Players' Championship in his entire PDC career. 60 and bull. Not going to happen.
40.
He's had a couple of wayward ones at the bullseye now, and Van Gerwen can make this 5-2 for the breaker throw, double top.
Game.
And it's there, and it is 5-2, and Dirk Van Duijvenbode is looking likely to be condemned to a 3rd defeat in 3 against the best player on the planet. Stomping around at the back of the booth there. He feels like he's had chances. He feels like he's not been blasted off the board
140.
by Van Gerwen. He's been right there with him in a number of legs. Just needed a big shot in the right
43.
time. A check out here, that 128, say. If he'd taken the 130 earlier on, the game could have been different.
140.
That's what happens when Michael Van Gerwen's averaging over a ton as he is here, then you know
140.
the vast majority of your chances must be converted. There was a chance to beat him in round 2 against Willie Borland, only a 91 average. A chance to beat him in the board final
171.
when Ryan Joyce got match darts. But Van Gerwen, does he? He could go for the bull. Scott Waits went for the bull for a 10-darter on Friday night. He did go for it.
42.
2 match darts missed. Van Duijvenbode thought it was a little bit disrespectful, but also thought it was a bit funny. And he's right on both counts. So, all taken in good humour. Well, I think there's loads of positives for Dirk Van Duijvenbode. I know he's about to lose this game 6-2. Looks likely anyway.
77.
But really good to see him playing well and playing consistently well. Keep an eye out for him tomorrow and indeed over the coming weeks. Michael Van Gerwen doesn't finish it on the bullseye, but he does finish it pretty quickly. A 6-2 victory for the world #1, seeing off his fellow Dutchman Dirk Van Duijvenbode. Michael Van Gerwen, the first man through to the quarterfinals. It will be Chris Dobie or Stephen Bunting, I beg your pardon, I believe, who he's going to go up against for a spot in the semis.